sunshine. Lacrosse fans have witnessed a red-hot opening weekend with Athletes Unlimited. Scotty Rose Growney was the fire starter for Team Reed Saturday, fueling a much-needed win. Sam Geyersbach took delight from her own hat trick yesterday, and she's ready to ignite again when this Sunday Fun Day begins with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. You're watching Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN, presented by our official climate finance partner, Aspiration. The doors are open for business at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. This afternoon, the battle unfolds between Team Britt Reed and the squad led by Ali Mastriani. When play began this week, these were the four captains. Four players who rose to the top of the leaderboard last summer. All of them were proud to renew their chase in the Athletes Unlimited title. Now, fast forward to today, this is the current top five. Familiar faces in the masked netminders, Marino and Reed, joined by three newcomers in the race. Caroline Wakefield, the player taking the biggest leap forward. It is great to see you again. Alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a five-time national champion at Maryland, I'm Joe Beninati. This is the last time these exact teams will be playing together today. So what should their collective approach be to this Sunday?
Well, first and foremost, you always want to end with a win as a team. That way you're putting your best foot forward, you're moving up the leaderboard, but you also want to make sure that individually you're showcasing yourself. You want to make sure that those next captains who are at the top four spots on the leaderboard take notice of you.
Goalies have a way of advancing quickly up the leaderboard. Britt Reed has figured out a winning formula over her 3 seasons of play.
Reed has shown marked improvement from season 1, 2, and now 3. She is such a stalwart in goal, holds her position incredibly well, but it's her communication that sets her apart from anyone else. She also has some pretty big outlet clears getting that offense started.
64% is pretty good too. If Team Mastriani's to get its first win of the weekend, Sam Geyersbach likely to be a big reason why.
Sam Geyersbach has found her stride from last year into this year. She wasn't a big factor for UNC initially, but she has built confidence, and she loves to live on the left side of the field. She's agile, quick, and shifty.
Maria Trival-Peace is in control on the sidelines. She has more on Geyersbach's college emergence.
That confidence in Sam Geyersbach grew from a perspective shift at North Carolina. After her fall semester, she called her former coach, Dennis Lowy, who said, you need to change the way that you look at the game and play like you have nothing to lose. Over that winter break, Sam worked with the trainer on her dodges and catching up to the speed of ACC play. That's why she was able to be the most outstanding player of the NCAA championships and why she's able to play so well here at Athletes Unlimited.
Maria, she's been pretty fun to watch. Geyersbach shooting 38% so far in the young season. And throughout this campaign, Charlotte North will be a regular contributor to our telecast. She helps bring us into the game. Charlotte, if you're listening up, you didn't have a goal yesterday. That's rare. What's your mindset on today?
Oh, we're looking to have a good game today. We're looking to come out with a win and end the weekend on a high note. We didn't have the best offensive production that we wanted yesterday, so we're looking to make smarter passes, smarter plays, a little fewer turnovers on the offensive end, but to put the ball in the back of the net a little bit more.
Charlotte, it's a short turnaround between yesterday and today. How are you guys able to accomplish so much as a team?
We're really looking at what we need to do better. It's all in the little things, the little plays. We're looking at what statistics we need to be better at. But again, it all comes down to playing as a team and building off the chemistry we've built on Thursday and Saturday.
Charlotte, we appreciate the insight. Keep that earpiece in. We'll be checking in with you from time to time.
Sounds good.
Charlotte North working with Team Mastriani in the blue. Team Reed is dressed in purple. Your officials today, Ronnie Anton, Erica Leslie, Patty Kletcher-Porter, Liz Brush, and Lynn Bowers will be the table official. Team Reed, a mark of 1-1. Team Mastriani looking for its first win, 0-2. Team Mastriani tripped up by Apuzzo, 11-10 on opening night Thursday. Dropped another 1-goal heartbreaker to Team Marino yesterday. Set to go inside the draw circle. Mastriani, a focal point there. Lindsay McCone, one of many draw specialists for Team Reed. As we get this Sunday doubleheader off and running, 2 points for the draw control when it comes up for Lindsay McCone. 6-on-6 at the offensive end. There's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited. Right to the cage. Quick stick score. Aldave wastes no time.
Every little piece on the field matters, not just because it can translate into goals, but because winning this draw control, Lindsay McCone gets herself some points. Nice little behind-the-back pass. Speed in the midfield from Allie Kennedy. Her eyes are up the entire time. She's being hunted down by Mastriani, but yet she still manages to find Andy Aldave right on the doorstep.
Aldave was a firecracker yesterday in the win over Team Apuzzo. She had 3 goals and an assist, as you can tell, bagging those 3 tallies on just 7 shots. She converts quickly inside the game's first 20 seconds today. Team Reed off to a flying start. Reed, which lost to Team Marino on opening night. Their offense was held in check by the defending champion, Taylor Marino. Didn't give up a goal in the first half or the first 20 minutes. Team Reed managed 4 on the day before it was all said and done. Kennedy right to the cooker. Fires and scores! Allie Kennedy.
Team Reed, they are on a mission. They had a tremendous amount of offensive production in their game yesterday versus Team Apuzzo. And again, you look at Allie Kennedy's speed. She is so quick. Not many people can catch her in the open field, and you can see why. As she is winding up, protecting from sliding defensive players, she just has a head full of steam, and she is tough to stop when you match foot for foot.
Kennedy yesterday, couple goals in the win over Apuzzo. She was talking to us in the lead up, in the run up to Athletes Unlimited, and Courtney, she said, you know what, I never want to be afraid to be great. As she accelerated there, she took off and left defenders in the dust.
Kind of like us from up here.
Oh, we're in the dust all right, and in the sun and in the heat, and it is hot today. Temperatures in the 90s, much hotter than that on the field for the athletes. As we're inside the game's opening minute, and already Team Reed in purple with a pair of markers. Now the first offensive set for Team Mastriani in blue. On the flank, it's Dempsey Arsenal. Arsenal off the split dodge from right to left. Marked on the perimeter. Sharp angle bid, no troubles there for Reed. She had the answer on Geyer's back. Britt Reed among the all-time points leaders in Athletes Unlimited. When it comes to stats points, the 2 goalies at opposite ends right now, Waters and Reed, are way up high on the list.
You know, we do see a change in this year. Previously, saves accounted for 6 points individually. This year, they are at just 5 points. And he would say, especially goalkeepers, thinking that's unfair, but the keepers felt like it was a good change.
McMahon off the flip, she fires, and Reed cannot miss today.
The best offensive productions happen when everybody is maneuvering together with and without the ball. Everything begins with Kylie Ohlmiller. Nice little fake flip to her teammate right there. And then Izzy McMahon coming off of her shoulder. It's all about getting the defense a step behind, as we can see Courtney Taylor off of the pick. She was a step behind. That creates open space for Izzy McMahon to be able to wind up and get a nice shot on goal. Again, more people touching the ball, more production, the better offensive flow you have.
I think Izzy plays with a little chip on her shoulder, too. She says she's always wanting to prove that she belongs, that she deserves to be here. She continues to produce. Had a hat trick against Team Marino back in that losing effort on opening day. 3-0 for Team Reed right off the jump, just 90 seconds into this game. Those 3 markers in 72 seconds. Draw control, 2 points for Dempsey Arsenal. When you score a goal, Courtney, you get 12 for your individual tally. If you score from behind the 2-point arc, 8 meters from the cage, you'll get 2 for your team, 16 for yourself.
Those are some big ways to get points. If you're a defender, you want to cause turnovers. You want to stop the opposing player from getting a quality shot. But there's also negative points, too. Every time you take a shot, if the goalie makes a save, you have minus points to your name. So, again, you want to make sure you're super accurate in terms of your shooting.
Mastriani thinking about the 2, lets it fly just over top of the crossbar. On the end line, closest to the ball, Warren went out. After a shot, Charlotte North gets possession. Scoops one from down under. She sent it wide. Geyer's back, backing it up. Shot clock down to 10. Sam Geyer's back, drawing 2 defenders. Arsenault with some heat, and it's stabbed by Britt Reed. Another 5 points for her save.
You know what's great about Athletes Unlimited? We have a mix of veterans as well as newcomers, rookies. There's 17 this season. That last matchup, Geyer's back, obviously a product out of UNC. She was matched up against Cookie Carr, who was just recently named the head coach at Towson University.
Congratulations to Cookie, one of the great ambassadors of women's lacrosse. This is Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 3. Initial season back in 2021. Former Maryland great Taylor Cummings was the initial champion. Taylor Marino, the defending champion. We'll see her in the second game of our double dip on ESPN2 this afternoon.
And this is a tough one. It's an offsides call. Mastriani's team in blue. There were too many players over in the offensive area. So now they're going to be a player down just when they were starting to get into their groove offensively, really work the ball, because they haven't had it much offensively.
Izzy McMahon right now for Team Reed in the purple. Just a reminder, for the team that wins each quarter, everybody on the roster, all 14 players, would receive 20 points on the leaderboard totals. You'll be seeing the leaderboard shuffling through the screen throughout the day. At the end of business today, the top 4 players on the leaderboard will be the new captains for week 2, which begins on Thursday. Kylie Oldmiller skipping on through. McMahon fires. That laser goes wide. Fought off by Waters as Team Mastriani's back to even strength. Ramsey exiting the sin bin. Look at Waters dancing on the end line. The goalkeeper earning possession for Team Mastriani.
She is not afraid to come out of the cage to help get possession with the ball. She's also been known to sprint up the field just a bit.
Folks, get your tickets to our virtual Summer Fan Fest. August 1st, join the Unlimited Club. Hear from your favorite players. Experience one-on-one meet and greets, giveaways, and more for just $20 a year at auprosports.com/memberships. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor up in the booth. Maria Tribalpiece is our sideline reporter. Grace Griffin wheeling in for Team Mastriani, sweeping across the top against Kayla Wood. This one rolled just wide of the goal. Dempsey Arsenault with a clever little release there. Backed up on the end line, though, that's a caused turnover. Plus 14 for Meg Dowdy, one of the veterans on defense for Team Reed. And now Cookie Carr looks for Kennedy. Kennedy, who can be a one-person clear, except when Arsenault is in the vicinity. Dempsey's been everywhere in the first couple of minutes today.
Cookie was using a little bit of her soccer background. We saw her shielding the opposing team, shielding Team Mastriani as she was waiting for someone to come in and scoop up that ground ball. Dual sport athlete.
Ramsey on the go. Bounce shot, she scores! Katie Ramsey with a pretty finish to get Mastriani on the board. So, as we get going, Game 5 of 24 in summer number 3 for Athletes Unlimited. A chance for us to step away to break. Ramsey able to power her way to the alley and beat Reed, who was out there to challenge. More Athletes Unlimited continues right after this. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is sponsored by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impacts. Sunsplash Day here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Yeah, bring the pooch to watch Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in Season 3. We remind you, WNBA action tonight on ESPN. Asia Wilson. The Aces are 20-2, the best record in the league, squaring off against Kalia Cooper and the Sky. Tuesday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Also available on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Early stages of this Game 5 in Season 3, and it's been a good start for Team Reed in the purple. We were referencing, Courtney, just a few moments ago, a veteran defender, Cookie Carr, and Cookie getting a college head coaching job nearby Towson.
Cookie's a long time collegiate coach. She was an assistant at Stanford and then at Ohio State and then down the street at Johns Hopkins. She's excited to take over the helm as a head coach. She's a local product as well. Went to Mercy High School here in Baltimore. It's always fun when you get to come back.
You mentioned that she's a two-sport athlete. Cookie looking up to fearless female athletes Julie Foudy and the likes of Mia Hamm.
And right there, that's Cookie's family supporting, watching her, her
Including
brother.
the dog?
Her dog, of
Perfect.
course. All of the Athletes Unlimited players, they love to bring their dogs, and that's Kaylee.
I'm not sure about the fur coat on a 95-degree day. Cookie gets goggled up for the resumption of play here. Just getting going. Opening quarter, Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Team Reed with a mark of 1-1. Team Mastriani in the blue is 0-2. Just a reminder, these teams, the final games that they'll be playing together in exact fashion. The new captains, the top 4 on the leaderboard at the end of business today after the Marino-Apuzzo matchup. We'll pick new teams in a Monday draft, and then we'll get set for the weekend to begin, season week number 2 to begin on Thursday, right here at USA Lacrosse HQ. Ramsey steals the draw from McCone. Katie Ramsey, the same player that put Team Mastriani on the board. Ramsey, outstanding in draw controls at Southern Cal in her collegiate days.
And that was a good adjustment. Captain Ali Mastriani was taking them early on in the game. She realized it was a mismatch. She couldn't get the ball away from McCone, so you make a change, and that's what a good leader will do.
Mastriani serving the ball now for TT Naslonsky. A rookie out of Rutgers, defended there by Kayla Wood. Wood put the ball on the ground, and here comes Team Reed defensively to look for the steal. No cause turnover there. Nice scoop by Griffin. Shot clock's at 20. Charlotte North led Athletes Unlimited in goals last summer. Placed 14th overall in the leaderboard. Arsenal was 6th. North, beautiful ball fake. Lets it fly, and she sailed it wide. 4 seconds to shoot. Pass to the interior. Nice catch there by Mastriani, but the possession ends. The shot clock violation speeding away. Often running in transition. It's Kennedy. Allie driving in. Ohlmiller lets it fly, and that's deflected by Waters. Kaylee made a good stop there.
That was a nice little connection between Allie Kennedy and Kylie Ohlmiller. So many people who watched Stony Brook over the years saw the two of them work so very well together. Two of the highest point getters during their time as a Seawolf.
Just great to see Kylie back on the field. She missed all of 2022 in Athletes Unlimited. She had a knee injury, and I think back, this is exactly the 2-year anniversary of the first ever game in Athletes Unlimited, and Kylie Ohlmiller was a captain that day. Ohlmiller alone inside off the pump fake. She lost it out of her cross. Emma Trenchard nearby, 91 in the blue. They scramble for the ground ball, and Arsenal keeps it alive on the sideline with Scotty Rose Growney. It's Aldave who makes the bounce pass to Izzy McMahon, with the officials asking about the shot clock. Officials today, Ronnie Anton and Erica Leslie, Patty Kletcher-Porter and Liz Brush on the field, talking things over.
What they're talking about is, since there was no significant possession by the defense trying to corral that ball, the shot clock should not have been reset. So I think they're going to lower the amount of time that Team Reed has the ball.
Just tuning in with us, Team Reed has the 3-1 advantage. They're going to reset the shot clock down, Courtney, as you mentioned, to 18 left in this possession.
That's a significant difference from that 55 seconds, so they're going to have to work a little faster in their flow offensively.
Ohlmiller working in against Geiger. Geiger in her third season of Athletes Unlimited. Switch it for McMahon from the severe angle. That pass to the crease, that's picked as we welcome in Bree Gross for a chair chat. Bree, Team Reed's off to a good start offensively. From your vantage point, what's been the key?
I think the key, the big switch that we've made in these past 2 games has been to really just keep our motion going. I think we knew we were a little stagnant that first game, and that's kind of what hurt us, but we just went back to practice the next day and just really worked on getting our movement up.
Waters made a nice stop there on Kayla Wood.
Bree, this is your first season with Athletes Unlimited. What's been your favorite aspect of it so far?
I'd have to say probably just the community. The league has done a really great job of just making sure it feels like a community of 56 players, not an individualized sort of sport and competing against each other. While there's the competition, they did a really good job of just making sure that everyone's getting to know each other and everyone's feeling supported by one another.
Bree, I'm not sure if you've seen it. We've been having some video of Cookie Carr's family pet. Her dog is in the stands today. Team Reed on the run, looking for the fast break. Aldave to finish. Beautiful work there. But Bree, I know that you and family members are very attuned to urban search and rescue dogs.
Yeah. Growing up, my dad worked for Urban Search and Rescue, and we had search and rescue dogs growing up, all golden retrievers.
Taking a look back at that pretty finish, Andy Aldave is very nice and accustomed around that crease.
She was excited to come back and be a part of Athletes Unlimited from the very first day, as obviously she came in late last season. But Bree, you talk about the community feel. What are some things that you guys do together outside of Athletes Unlimited? I know there's a lot of programming that you guys go through that helps you kind of connect together.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say we have a group chat with everyone, all 56 of us, and at any given night, someone will be sending a text in there saying, hey, anyone want to come to the lobby or the athlete lounge to play the salad bowl game, or does anyone, they've texted out tee times for golf. There are a lot of golfers, and even organized like a pickleball tournament for later on in the league, in the season.
Bree, you've mentioned to us that throughout your days at Vanderbilt, you enjoyed being a real workhorse for your team. Who are the players who emulate the similar role in Athletes Unlimited?
Yeah, I'd just say, as far as my teammates on purple, I think Lindsay McCone definitely, and Izzy McMahon, I'd say those are 2 players on my team that I look up to specifically about their work ethic, and they're just never quitting.
Bree, we appreciate it. Thanks very much. Get back out
Thank you.
there. Bree Gross, kind enough to spend some time with us. Tail end of the opening quarter. Final 20 seconds. The quarter points heavily in favor of Team Reed in purple. They will record 20 points apiece, all 14 players on the roster when the final 10 ticks elapse in this opening quarter. Every moment in Athletes Unlimited factors into the overall leaderboard scoring. As Lizzie Colson checks over her shoulder, we are 1 quarter of play complete in Sparks, Maryland, with Team Reed in front, 4-1. The Purple People showing off for Captain Britt Reed. Geyer's back trying to dance her way back into the competition. Andy Aldave all around the cage. The lead is early for Team Reed by 3. Team Reed has taken the opening quarter with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, presented today by Aspiration, a 4-1 opening frame for the team dressed in purple. Really enjoyed watching the PLL All-Star game last night. Next Saturday on ESPN Plus, 6 and 8:30 Eastern. Get back to PLL regular season action. Sunday, the Water Dogs and the Archers at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC and ESPN Plus. Followed by the Whipsnakes and Chaos. That one only on ESPN Plus. All games coming from the Ford Center. Dallas Cowboys, 12,000-seat indoor stadium in Frisco, Texas. Those of you just getting acquainted with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, Courtney, it's an unusual, innovative, and exciting scoring system.
Each and every week, there's a new team, 4 captains. Some can return if they are at the top of the leaderboard, but it's the scoring unique system that every player loves because everything you do on the field, it matters. Obviously, you want to make the least amount of mistakes because there's negative point values as well.
This is the way the points will add up and fall off during the season, particularly in addition to your point totals. Look what you get if you score a 2-point goal.
You know, every single position is represented. Obviously, the goal scorers with plus 16, plus 14, plus 12 for a regular goal, defenders, goalkeepers, causing a turnover, getting the ball back, possession for their team, as well as making a save. But all those little things, a ground ball, a draw control, add up as well.
Andy Aldave, one of the keys for Team Reed so far today. 4 years at Notre Dame, a graduate transfer to North Carolina in 2022. She used to be a two-way midfielder. She's been a high-scoring attacker today. Aldave with the first and fourth goals for the team in purple. That's Team Reed. Working against the team in blue, that's Ali Mastriani's squad. Mastriani and her mates trying to pick up their first win of the weekend. Right off this draw control for Ali Kennedy. Kennedy joining Izzy McMahon on the score sheet along with Aldave's pair of markers. Team Reed in purple has had the upper hand from the outset. Aldave scoring the game's first goal before we were 20 seconds old. Ohlmiller directing traffic now at the offensive end, 6-on-6.
You know, the fact that they let everyone touch the ball, get comfortable before they get into a set, so very important.
Evans off the roll dodge, the rookie from Canada, sent that one wide. Ohlmiller was there on the end line to back it up. Early stages of quarter number 2. Ohlmiller with Geiger hung up. Katrina puts the stick check on. Shot clock down to 10. Evans looking over the top from outside the 8-meter arc. Aldave driving wide on Ramsey. Good defensive footwork there. Quick stick, score! On the run, it's Evans.
Probably the best part about Team Reed's offense is there are so many weapons on the field. Aldave, Erica Evans, Kylie Ohlmiller. You just can keep going and going. Who's who to watch defensively, and they're changing their looks up each and every time. This time feeding it X, a little sweep across the top. Erica Evans, another natural lefty on Team Reed. She's a Canadian national team player, won a gold and silver last summer in the World Sixes as well as World Championships respectively. So she's used to the physical style of play. She said it doesn't scare her.
She was the first rookie selected in the Monday draft by Captain Britt Reed. 4 years at Canisius for Erica Evans. Then she finished her college career in College Park nearby here in Maryland. Said it gave her goosebumps to play at a college program at the University of Maryland. 5-1 for Reed. Just 11 minutes into the game today. Another draw control speared by Ali Kennedy. Kylie Ohlmiller will control the tempo for the team in purple. Team Reed lost to Team Marino on opening night, then down Sam Apuzzo's squad yesterday by a 14-8 margin. We touched on the 2 tough 1-goal losses for Team Mastriani in blue. Evans on the go again, and that is an easy answer for Kaylee Waters in cage. I was surprised, Courtney, to see Kaylee Waters wasn't selected in the draft till pick number 31 back on Monday. The new captains will be at it again tomorrow, selecting their teams for week 2.
You know, I think there's a huge strategy involved for all of it. You had Team Reed, Team Marino, already 2 goalkeepers. So Sam Apuzzo, Ali Mastriani.
Ostholmen on the front swing, she scores.
Each of those captains knowing that they could wait a little bit longer because clearly Reed and Marino were not going to be picking keepers for a while. But as we take a look back, you have the leaderboard constantly moving and changing every time a goal is scored or goals against for the goalkeeper. Ali Mastriani, eyes are up. She sees Alex in tight. Once you get into a flow and you break the opposing team with the time of possession that they have, you're better apt to have connections on the field, and that's what we're seeing right now with Ali Mastriani and her team in blue.
Alex Ostholmen on the board. She first saw the sport of lacrosse in 4th grade, and Courtney, she said it was love at first sight.
As it is for most people coming from Baltimore. It's the unofficial sport of the state of Maryland.
Courtney Taylor will advance the ball now for Team Mastriani. We let you know for every assist during this year's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season, Aspiration committed to planting 10 trees. Stay tuned throughout the season, see how many trees will be planted, thanks to Aspiration's support. Great job by them. All throughout the campaign last year, nearly 1,900 trees were planted. There's a player down on the deck, a stoppage called for with 7:37 remaining in the opening half. Athletic trainers for Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse provided by MedStar Health.
Looks like Kristen Carr, number 83 for Team Reed, is who the trainers are tending to. As we take a look back at what occurred, Kristen Carr down on the lower side. It looked like it was a pick set on her back before she hit the ground.
Came into contact there with Sam Geyer's back and has remained on her back for quite some time.
Cookie, probably one of the strongest, most athletic players on the field. Her workouts in the offseason, incredibly intense.
There was some thought that Cookie was going to retire from active playing duty in Athletes Unlimited last summer. She gave it her all. 1 year later, she told us that her body and her mind were still in a very good place, and she wanted to continue. She's here for season 3. Right now, receiving some treatment from the athletic trainers.
I think anytime players contemplate retirement, it's always their lifetime story of, am I ready to be done with this? What do I want my legacy to be? Do I have anything left in the tank? And many of them decide, yeah, I got another year in me, or now it's time for kind of the next generation.
We often introduce Kristen Carr as Cookie. She goes by her nickname. Good to see Cookie up on the field right now and up on her own 2 feet. She was a 5-year-old playing travel soccer with 10-year-olds, and there was someone on the sideline that watched her and said, geez, that's one tough little cookie out there. And the nickname has stuck ever since.
So fun when you have a nickname that comes from a place of endearment, such as that. As her family's looking on.
Cookie making her way gingerly to the sideline. All this coming 2 minutes and 23 seconds into the second quarter of play. A chance for us to switch gears. We've mentioned throughout these summers in Athletes Unlimited that the players give us tremendous access, the ability to speak with them while the game's going on. Charlotte North, if you have your ears in. Charlotte, we'd love to catch up with you. Charlotte, another quick start for Team Reed. How have you and your mates been able to respond?
So you're going to be on the clump with us 3 on the backside. We're just going to pick. But we're going to be like. She okay? She okay? What'd she hit? Her head? Her jaw?
Players getting back set. Charlotte North
Yeah, I'm coming.
will be chatting with us throughout the day. You hear the communication at field level. Off this turnover, it's Bree Gross. Quickly on for Allie Kennedy, and Kennedy rides into a 4-on-3 fast break. Scotty Rose grounding, one touch, that's beautiful ball movement for Kylie Ohlmiller.
Holy smokes is right, Joe. Allie Kennedy with the speed out of the backfield yet again. Scotty Rose grounding, very unselfish, all the way down to Andy Aldave. Her eyes are up. She probably could have taken that shot, but one more pass, confusion for the defense, changed the point of attack. As soon as they got the ball, opposite side of that crease, Kylie Ohlmiller, she knew exactly what to do. It's too hard to stop as the ball moves so quickly, faster than when any 2 feet can move.
Ohlmiller making it 6-2 and 2-1 in the second quarter alone. Reminder, 20 points are on the line for the team that wins each individual quarter. Ohlmiller, who missed last summer injured, we mentioned that. She told us that when you spend that much time on the sideline, you appreciate all the little things that matter a bit more. We'll keep tabs on Cookie Carr, who left the field injured just a few moments ago. Hope to have a report on her. Hope to see her back on the field before too long. Team Mastriani in blue. North finds Mastriani, lets it go. That was a 2-point bid that was too tall. North off the rewind, gets picked up by Wood. Charlotte spins back. That lethal right-handed shot, she hasn't been able to uncork one just yet today. 2 assists yesterday for Charlotte North. Geyersbach had a hat trick, and she scores right here. Sam Geyersbach.
We saw Sam Geyersbach with the isolation moves several times in yesterday's game. She had 3 goals. As soon as they were setting up this isolation, I was getting ready to say there was no help, or it was a little bit late coming in. McCone, as you saw, sliding in to help out her defensive player, Erica Evans. Sam Geyersbach taking advantage again. It's her shiftiness, the quickness. Anytime you have a one-on-one situation, you generally have the advantage. So late slides prove fruitful for the offense.
Just past the bottom of the hour, that's Courtney Martinez-Connor. I'm Joe Beninati. Maria Tribalpiece is our sideline reporter as we tip our cap to all the men and women in our technical crew. Very busy and early day today for them. Team Reed doubling up Team Mastriani 6-3. The second quarter scoreboard is level at 2 apiece. Should it remain that way, the 20 points that would be available would carry over. It would make the third quarter worth 40 for everybody on the victorious quarter side. 6 and change left in the opening half. McCone teeing up McMahon. Another player who played collegiately at Southern Cal, the Women of Troy. Izzy McMahon was 3 times a 30-goal scorer there, way out west. McCone hovering at the top. Griffin digging in defensively. Shot clock down to 24. Gross for McMahon isolating. Mairead Durkin will pick her up. A rookie in Athletes Unlimited, 89 in the blue. Snapshot delivered, just sailed wide by Scotty Rose grounding. Backed up on the end line by Aldave. Just 7 seconds to shoot. Quick pass, Ohlmiller, no real estate. From the bad angle, she rolled that one wide. This is a shot clock violation against Team Reed.
Every time that happens, it's -2 for the offensive team. Every player collectively. And on the flip side, the defense, the entire team in blue will get +2 points to be added to their leaderboard score. So very important because it's not just individually statistically, but those team-style defenses or offensive production. That's where you can also add some big-time points.
Griffin on the go, stick check there by Evans on the perimeter, and Evans gets the caused turnover and the ground ball. Huge pickup there in one fell swoop. This is Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 3, the only league driven entirely by the athletes. There's a player executive committee. Athletes are leaders and decision makers. The co-chair of the players executive committee, one of them, Lindsay McCone, is just jogging in offensively. She wears the purple for Team Reed today. Sweltering hot conditions in Sparks, Maryland. We're about 20 minutes north of Baltimore, USA Lacrosse headquarters. This is McCone off the sweep. Going through the weave with Scotty Rose Growney. Another flip that was foiled, though, by Emma Trenchard, former Defender of the Year out of North Carolina. Shot clock at 7. Kennedy finds Scotty Rose Growney. Shovel shot, neatly vacuumed up by Kaylee Waters. Courtney, I saw your eyes go wide there. That was a pretty clever release with a lot of pace on it.
A lot of power, a lot of intensity. So many of these players, they're the highest skilled in the entire world.
North on the go, rolling back against Wood. Here comes the double and the triple from Dowdy. Charlotte North definitely draws a crowd. Pass to the inside, that's blocked away. Good defensive work. Who else? Lizzie Colson there on the job. Now that Becca Block is no longer in Athletes Unlimited, 2 times the Defender of the Year, Lizzie may just pick up that award this time around. Kennedy on the go. She scores! 5-hole on Waters.
Extending the lead to 7 for Team Reed. They are just continuing on their offensive prowess. Speed throughout the midfield, transitioning fluidly. And Britt Reed with the bomb of a clear, getting it into Allie Kennedy's stick. 7-3, Team Reed.
Lacrosse fans texting about their favorites in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. 7-3 lead for Team Reed today over Team Mastriani. Second quarter points on the line, 3-2 for the moment for Team Reed. Sunday night baseball matchup is coming up. The series finale between the Mets and Red Sox at Fenway Park. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage beginning 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown, and of course, Michael K. and A-Rod have their K-Rod presentation on ESPN2. Izzy McMahon is wearing the microphone for us today. She can take us into the game with Air National Guard.
Let's go! Let's go! So, yeah. Hey, let's go, D! Start with you, Brett! Early cookie! Wow! Let's go! Oh, you! early. So you good job! Because now we can't.
Izzy McMahon, definitely a player in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse who leaves it all out there on the field. She earns the trust of her teammates in a hurry. She's been scoring goals aplenty, helping to drive Team Reed in this week 1 of 4 weekends worth of play. We will crown one eventual champion on Sunday, August the 13th. It'll be the 3rd overall winner, Taylor Cummings, Taylor Marino, the first 2. 7-3 Reed with the advantage late in the opening half as we check in with Maria Tribalpiece.
Cookie Carr left the game with an upper body injury, and she went back to the trainers in the back of the room, and then she came back out. She's on the field right now. She seems to be moving pretty fine, but again, just an upper body injury that we were reported to.
Maria, we appreciate that update. Thanks very much. We're seeing Cookie on the prowl along the sidelines here for Team Reed, dressed in purple. Slapping hands with the rookie netminder there, Kat Buchanan, who backs up team captain Britt Reed in goal. We shift our attention to the draw circle. Still 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second quarter. A second quarter that's led by Team Reed 3-2. Everybody on the roster would receive 20 points for winning that individual frame. Ali Mastriani, long strides, gliding her to the offensive end. 6-on-6. Just one player up opportunity so far today. Charlotte North has Kayla Wood with her. Kayla's been in her hip pocket all afternoon to this point. North will invert back behind the cage. Charlotte looking for a passing lane. Sharing the ball there, a bit too tall for Alex Ost-Holman. Dempsey Arsenault will chase it down halfway through the shot clock.
You know, I'd like to see them change things up a little bit offensively, try out some different looks.
There's one for Geyersbach, that wicked left-handed release.
No teams have been able to stop Sam Geyersbach from yesterday to today. Not many lefties out on the field, but a quick step. Oftentimes they forget it's not a righty coming around. That's her strong side. So all she needs is that small little sliver of the net. You can't get there late to her coming around that left-hand side. Sam Geyersbach putting yet another one on the board as they're looking to close the gap for Team Mastriani.
We talk about lacrosse, Courtney, being so much of a family affair, right? So how does Sam Geyersbach get noticed when she was a youngster? Well, her sister was playing in the game, and Sam was basically running sideline to sideline, end line to end line, and the coaches were like, now, who's this over here? Can we get a lacrosse stick in her hands? And from there on, she loved it. Charlotte North on the go, looking to sweep against Wood. Rolls back, splits two, and then gets denied by Britt Reed.
It's always the younger siblings with the big-time opportunities. They have the practice of being out there with their older siblings, oftentimes getting pummeled by them. That's how a lot of goalkeepers are made.
Oh, yeah.
Get in the goal. I want to shoot.
Oh, yeah. Sam Geyersbach very friendly with Sam Apuzzo, and their families are so tight together. Known each other since they were 6 or 7 years old. Apuzzo and Marino in the nightcap of this doubleheader today on ESPN2. For the moment, 7-4. Team Reed in purple out in front. The second quarter scoreboard level at 3. McMahon on the go. Very fast feet. Scotty Rose Growney cut off at the pass there by Ali Mastriani. Shot clock down to 12. McMahon playing a two-person game with Oldmiller. Shot clock's at 5. Kylie better let it fly. She does for 2, and kneeling to make that stop. It's Kaylee Waters. Final 75 seconds, court of the opening half.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised as Mastriani's team is clearing this ball that they'd be looking not just to get a 2-point goal, but just a goal, because they could still come out on top and win this quarter as it's all tied at 3.
Charlotte North hovering back behind the cage. North seeing that Arsenault opens up against Lindsay McCone. Dempsey has a great first step. Great to separate from defenders. Trail check beautifully by McCone, the worker bee on defense for Team Reed, forcing the turnover. Colson comes up with the ball, sends it on to Erica Evans with 33 seconds to go in the second quarter. They battle for the loose ball. The officials are going to give possession to Team Mastriani on the quick exchange. North just missed the far post.
A strong, powerful shot. I'm not sure if she realized she had more time. She could have ran that ball in.
Final stages of the second quarter. We're level at 3 goals apiece. Those 20 points available would carry over if there's no more scoring in this frame. Down to 5. McMahon outside the 8-meter, lets it go. Handled by Waters, who launches it the length of the field. We are done with the opening half. That second quarter is a push, if you will. Those 20 points carrying over to the third.
That just means the third quarter has all the more intensity put to it. Again, 3-3 in quarter 2. Those 20 points go to the third quarter. That one's going to be worth 40 points. So we saw the back and forth at the end of the play right there. Super intense, each team wanting to get that last goal. Decision making probably could have been a little bit better, but we know quarter 3, All the money's on that one.
Courtney, for these two squads, it's the last time these exact rosters will play together. This is 3 games in 4 days. How have you seen them hold up from that physical standpoint?
I think physically they're all doing fine. It's obviously hot. They're running back and forth. I think possession time is going to be key since this is day 3 out of 4 days. It's just who's going to play smarter, who's going to use their IQ, their brain to let things calm down on the field and not be too rushed while still making sure to attack the cage.
Chance for both teams to get some shade in the locker room, some refreshments too. Team Mastriani trailing Team Reed by 3. Ali Mastriani's bunch looking for its first win of the weekend as we share time with Maria Tribal Piece, standing by with Britt Reed.
Britt, your team jumps off to a quick 3-goal lead. How important is it to get that quick start?
Yeah, definitely so important to get the quick start. Lots of fast break goals. Got to keep that going, winning the draw. We're looking good. We're playing together. And we're playing team. Like, we're getting turnovers on the defensive end, starting fast breaks and finishing fast breaks.
I heard you telling your team that you can hear them all the way from the cage. Why is that communication so important?
Yeah, they're communicating so well. They're saying when to get into the set, what set to get in, and it just shows that they're working so well together. We have to continue to do that and come out hot in the second half.
Andy Aldave has been great for you offensively. What are you seeing from her?
Yeah, she's finishing her shots. It doesn't matter where she is. She's putting them in the back of the net. They're great shots, and they're pretty unstoppable.
Thank you so much, Britt. Back to you guys.
Maria and Britt, we appreciate it. Britt Reed will get a chance to catch her breath. We're done with 2 quarters of play. A sun-kissed Sunday in Sparks, Maryland. Get you back for our halftime intermissions activities. So far, so good for the offenses. 11 points on the board with Team Reed out in front. 20 minutes deep into Game 5 of 24 this season with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Team Reed and Team Mastriani taking some time to rest and recover at the half on ESPN. Goaltender Sarah Resnick, she's come off the bench very well in her first season as a pro. She was welcomed to Athletes Unlimited by Mira Shane.
My last pick is a goalie from Florida, Sarah Resnick. Let's go.
When I heard my name in the draft, it was definitely like a very surreal feeling. I always obviously dreamed about playing professional lacrosse since I was a little girl, and obviously there was no professional lacrosse when I was that little. So as soon as I heard my name, I was just so excited, and I was really grateful for the opportunity to be here.
Sarah, she sure does have a knack for making the timely save. Stay right there, please. More work ahead at the half. When we return, we'll be previewing the second game of our daily doubleheader. A look ahead to Team Marino, and Team Apuzzo is next. The action has simmered down after 2 quarters at USA Lacrosse HQ. Team Reed and Team Mastriani going through their adjustments before the start of the third frame on ESPN2. Later today, 2:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2, a marquee matchup featuring teams led by the players who finished 1-2 on the leaderboard last summer. Team Apuzzo, 9.5 goals per game, one of the highest scoring entries in Athletes Unlimited. Team Marino trying to become just the 7th team all-time to sweep through a weekend. We still have a bit more work to do at the half. When we get you back to Sparks, Maryland, it'll be time to share highlights from an entertaining opening 20 between Team Reed and Team Mastriani. Smart move. Find some shade whenever you can. Temperatures in the mid-90s here in Sparks, Maryland. Team Reed at the half over Team Mastriani by a 7-4 margin. The second quarter goals level at 3, so the third quarter will be worth 40 points for these two squads. Joe Beninati hanging out with Courtney Martinez-Connor on a day when Athletes Unlimited dominates ESPN2. Courtney, what's been the difference in this, the first of two games today? What's been the difference between these two squads overall from your perspective?
You know, I think the number of times that Team Mastriani is coughing up the ball, granted, it's due to cause turnovers by Team Reed. They are forcing the opponent to pass the ball. They are forcing them to make bad plays, and that's the biggest difference, I think, in this game. We've seen a whole bunch of goals in this contest so far. In fact, all we had to do was wait about 19 seconds for Andy Aldave to get on the board first. In transition, that's where Team Reed is doing the most damage. Clearing the ball with speed. Allie Kennedy has found a number of players, but sometimes nobody's even sliding to her. So she has the golden light to go right to goal. Cookie Carr getting involved. Izzy McMahon again. Andy Aldave on the doorstep. And then Allie Kennedy. I just love to watch her run in the open field. She is so incredibly fast.
Geyer's back for Team Mastriani. Has been hard to cover around the cage.
Sam Geyer's back. She is winning her 1v1 matchup through and through. She knows she has the speed and quickness to get it done. She is clawing and fighting back for her team to stay on the board. That's why in the third quarter, it was tied at 3-3.
Numbers-wise, Team Reed has a dozen shots on cage. Anything else jump out at you?
You have to have the ball on your stick in order to shoot, but those turnovers, look, a difference of 6 to 11. The defense of Team Reed is just proving to be too difficult right now for Mastriani's group.
Team Reed and Team Mastriani, for them, the third game of 3 this weekend. It's game number 5 of 24 in the Athletes Unlimited lacrosse season. Today, presented by Aspiration. We'll get you back. It'll be time for quarter number 3 on ESPN2. We're waiting for the breeze to pick up. 20 miles north of Baltimore here in Sparks, Maryland. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse continues. Team Reed, 3 better than Team Mastriani. Quarter number 3 soon to unfold. Before it does, to our sideline reporter, Maria Tribalpiece, she had a chance to catch up with Ali Mastriani.
Ali Mastriani told me that she wants to see her team make Team Reed shoot a little bit better. I'm going to start that over for a second. She would like to see Britt Reed's team slow down in transition. She doesn't want them to get as many easy shots. On the flip side, she wants her team to take their time offensively and take better shots.
See if it transpires that way, Maria. Mastriani getting set for the second quarter to unfold. This is the end of week 1 for these two squads. Team Reed, a mark of 1-1. Team Mastriani, 0-2. They dropped a couple of one-goal games Thursday night in the opener. Team Mastriani falling to Team Apuzzo, 11-10. Sam Apuzzo's gang is in the marquee matchup of the day. The second one at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN2. She'll go up against the defending champs, the team led by Captain Team Marino. Taylor, the individual champion in Athletes Unlimited Season 2. This is Season 3, Quarter 3, underway with Team Reed in the purple and Izzy McMahon on the job. McMahon struck in the opening quarter today. She's got 4 goals in her last 2 outings, the first 2 of this year.
What's interesting is the draw battle has been fairly even. I think at this point it's 2 ahead for Team Reed. Generally, the score has a direct reflection on the draw battle.
Allie Kennedy on the go, pops it inside. McCone jumping up and down. She was salivating there. She just missed from prime real estate. Ohlmiller brings it back in. Kylie waits against Katrina Geiger. Veteran defender marking against Ohlmiller, a fancy behind the back pass. Izzy McMahon waiting. That's swatted away by Mastriani. Shot clock to 10. McCone outside the 8-meter arc. Score from beyond that, you'll get 2 for the team, 16 points for yourself. Great roll dodge. Ohlmiller hit the crossbar. Rebound off the post. Aldave misfired as well, and Sarah Resnick, who's come on for Kaylee Waters, and right off the bat, her best friends bail her out.
Back-to-back post shots. You gotta love it if you're a keeper. Resnick excited for it. However, this does mean a new 60 seconds, one right after the other for Team Reed, so they can take their time. Give themselves a breath. They've been having good looks at the cage.
McMahon driving in on a sidewinder to the corner. Izzy McMahon has been a tough cover this weekend.
And by giving themselves a break, I meant go right to goal, of course. Izzy McMahon, we had the opportunity to see her and her parents last night having some quality dinner here in Baltimore. She just loves playing. It runs in the family. What quick stutter step she has. That's how she gets her separation from her defensive player. Nobody made contact with her. If you're not going to make contact with Izzy McMahon, she will make you pay.
Second goal today. Had 3 in the scrimmage back on Monday. Scored 3 against Taylor Marino on Thursday in a losing effort. And you would think, come draft time tomorrow, remember, the top 4 on the leaderboard, once we're through with business today, the top 4 on the leaderboard with the new captains. They'll draft new teams on Monday. You would think Izzy is skyrocketing up that draft board.
You know, anytime you can produce on the field, people take notice, especially people who are going to be potentially in those captain spots. There's only 4 of them, but you want to pick players who move the ball, who share it, but who can also take players on 1v1.
All the goals in this third quarter are big goals, Courtney. Remember, the second frame was deadlocked at 3 apiece, so this is a 40-point quarter in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Led 1-0 thanks to the early strike by McMahon. Team Reed in the purple with the ball once more. McCone on the go. 2-person game shaded by Grace Griffin. Ohlmiller comes to capture it. Playing a little pick and roll herself. Ran right into a double. She got sandwiched. Evans finds the loose ball. Hailing from north of the border. Peterborough, Ontario to be specific. Aldave shares with McCone. 15 seconds to shoot. Long range 2. Sails high and wide of Sarah Resnick. Third straight game, Resnick has come in to be the second half netminder, subbing in for Kaylee Waters. Evans waits, And the shot clock expires. It's a violation. Ball back to Mastriani in blue. Dempsey Arsenault glides into this rush. Arsenault, nice look. Geyer's back. Just failed to convert there. Britt Reed stepping out off of her line. Ball down belongs to Alex Ost-Holman. Chased by 2 Team Reed defenders. Dowdy was there to put the squeeze on. The officials say foul and possession for Team Mastriani. Geyer's back quickly. Arsenault lets it fly. Britt Reed takes a knee to make that denial. Time for a chair chat, Courtney. It's Cookie Carr, kind enough to join us. Cookie, we saw you take a tumble in the opening quarter today. How's everything going?
Things are a lot better now. How are you guys doing today?
Just fine.
We are loving life up here. Cookie, talk to us. We had a lot of time where we were connecting on Media Day, but we had some big news for you. What's going on?
Big news in my life. I just accepted the Towson head coaching job, so I'm excited to be a part of the Tiger family.
And you get to be with your hometown crowd. We saw your parents in the stands,
Yes.
your dog.
Yeah, all the fams here. It's been fun, from family to friends to like different people that I've been able to train over the years, and I think Athletes Unlimited does a great job with just bringing the fans here and creating a great environment for them. So it's been really fun all around.
Team Reed in purple on top by 4. Cookie Carr conducting the chair chat with us. Cookie, you've been with Athletes Unlimited from day one. How have you seen this league grow?
It's been so fun to be a part of the entire process and journey with Athletes Unlimited. I mean, the fact that we get to play at the USA Lacrosse headquarters and have, MedStar here, the hotel close by, and a great fan base and the mecca of lacrosse, it creates a great opportunity for everybody to see the game of lacrosse played at a really, really high level.
So we just watched Charlotte North go to goal and tuck one in. Cookie, you've had the chance to match up against her. What's the most important thing to do to cover number 88?
Charlotte's one of the most dynamic players that you can ever go against. I mean, she is constantly making you think and making you adjust. So you stop her one way, she'll go another way. She has a great reach, and she can extend her hands and shoot just about anything at any point. So she's an incredible player, and the battle between Charlotte and anybody that gets a chance to play against her is always a fun one.
A battle, that's a good word. That's exactly what it looks like. Now, we talk with you. You've been here for 3 years. You said some of your top memories were playing with some incredible players, listening to amazing speakers. You talked about getting to know everyone. But one memory in particular with Izzy McMahon in year 1 that she brought around.
Boy. Yes. Back in the day when I thought I was retiring, Izzy did buy me some champagne, and I had to figure out how to pop the champagne and was pretty poor at it, so great memory to bring back up. But maybe we'll do that after this season. But for now, I'm just focusing on playing with these incredible people and lacrosse players, and just enjoying and soaking up all the moments that I get a chance to be out here with all of them.
Next time, Cookie, we'll make sure there's a sommelier present to make sure that the bottle is opened correctly.
I'm going to need all the help I can get.
We can teach you that. We can teach you that part. Dempsey
I'd
Arsenal
appreciate that.
on the clear. This is Ramsey driving in, slicing between defenders. The rookie fires and scores. Cookie, each season you're seeing brand new, fresh faces. We'll leave you with that. We thank you. We appreciate your time and hope that the injury is not a significant one. We look forward to seeing you back out there.
Thank you so much, you guys. Appreciate you.
Cookie Carr in an 8-6 advantage for her team, Team Reed. As we step out to break, facilitator Catherine Conway very pleased with that last strike. The second on the day for Katie Ramsey, getting Team Mastriani back in this match. Top corner on Britt Reed. The score, 8-6 here in the third. Fans having a great time in the sunshine here today in Sparks, Maryland. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse presented by Aspiration. You see that third quarter? It's worth 40 points for the team that has the most goals in the frame. Team Mastriani, thanks to the strike from Ramsey, has the 2-1 lead in the quest for that 40 points. Our next WNBA game on ESPN, Asia Wilson. The Aces are 20-2. The best record in the league. They square off against Kalia Cooper and the Sky. That comes Tuesday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Also available on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Throughout this summer of Athletes Unlimited, the athletes are very kind to wear microphones for us. Charlotte North has one on again today. We go into the game with a great 88.
There we go. Yeah! Look at that. Let's go. Let's go. Wait, guys. That's it. That's the one good play we needed. Yeah. Wait, I have an idea. I don't want to come off lefty. So now, she's the first one to come off lefty. One of us has to follow her for a 2v1 on the left side. Because they're walling the right side. So if I go first, you're going to be open. Let me go first. Yes. But like we're going to be right. I'm going to slip. They're going to go with me 2v1. Bam, you. You know what I mean?
Earlier thoughts from Charlotte North, and as she jogs back out onto the field, Charlotte joins us for Team Mastriani. Charlotte, what's the key to this comeback?
Oh, we're moving the ball well. We have good spacing on the offensive end. We want to keep attacking our 1v1 matchups to be able to draw the slide and get that defense spinning, get a mismatch, using a little bit of the two-man game as well. But we're really focusing on winning our 1v1 battles.
Charlotte, in this third quarter, we've seen some production at the draw control as well. Is that directly translating offensively?
100%. The draw is a huge momentum swing for us. Katie's crushing it, Allie's crushing it. Our midfielders are grinding in between the 30s, and they're coming up with huge 50-50 balls for us.
Charlotte, we're going to let you talk us through live these next few situations here as the tail end of the third quarter. You are live, and we'll be listening in. Best of luck to you, 88.
Awesome. Thank you. Here we go, Katie. I'm with you, Grace. We're good. Here we go, D. There you go. Good side dance.
Izzy McMahon fires one home. McMahon once again on the board with another hat trick. She has been routinely a dominating goal scorer in the first weekend of Athletes Unlimited.
Yeah.
Charlotte, as we look back at Izzy McMahon, what is it about her that makes her so difficult to match up on?
She's so shifty. She's one of the most dynamic dodgers in the league. You can see she can score with her right and her left. So defenses can't really force her one way. They got to play her straight up. And that change of direction that she has is pretty lethal.
Charlotte, we know you love to play the game. You were also an analyst of it during this season collegiately on ESPN. What was that like for you?
Oh my gosh, it was such an honor. It was a dream come true. I had so much fun getting to learn from you guys, from all the greats that do such a good job of covering our sport. But I love lacrosse, and I love being able to watch and study it, so I had a ton of fun.
Thanks for the compliment. Right back at you. We're still with you live, Charlotte.
Yep. Here we go. Ow! Sorry. Yep. Double's here. Ready, Al. I got you. Bang! Let's go! Yeah! So many people. That was amazing. Let's go. Let's go, guys.
So many people in the way. Yeah. Sorry, I got called.
No, that's
Allie Mastriani with this bullet, Courtney.
Yeah, one up. Let's get this draw, you guys. Here we
The
go.
quick ball
They gave it to
movement
them.
from Dempsey Arsenal to Ali Mastriani. We could hear her on the field talk about the open lane. A lot of purple jerseys in front of her, but that does not matter. When you are a sharp shooter, such as number 21, you have the lane in front of you, you finish. Ali Mastriani closing the gap for her team.
Charlotte, the two-person games, you loved it in basketball, pick and rolls. We could hear you in conversation with Ali Mastriani. Is a lot of it nonverbal? Is it a lot of it just an eye contact thing?
Totally. I mean, we've played together a couple games now, and I've been fortunate enough to be on a team with Ali previously on Team USA. So, you know, we read each other's cues and set each other up for success alongside everyone else on the offensive end. We're just trying to get those mismatches, those miscommunications in the two-mans to be able to have a look on cage.
Thanks for letting us ride along with you. We appreciate it. Britt Reed's squad, 9-7, the advantage over Team Mastriani in blue as we move towards the tail end of this third quarter. Kennedy going to the goal. Ohlmiller crossing over. That one just missing on a full split kick out by Resnick. That one appeared to hit the post behind her. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor, Maria Trival-Piece, your announced team. Shouting out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew who are helping to show you the leaderboard up to the moment. Taylor Marino will play in the nightcap. The defending champ, still number 1, had a record-setting Thursday night for the most individual points in a single game in Athletes Unlimited lacrosse history. These totals, the leaderboard, will be changing, ever-changing throughout the 4 weekends of play. This is week number 1 of season 3. Geyer's back. Hemmed in there by Meg Dowdy. Arsenault off the split dodge, lets it fly. Missed it on the short side. Backing up closest to the ball, wearing when it leaves the field. That was Alex Ost-Holman to keep it alive for Team Mastriani. North on the jump shot. That one turned away. Britt Reed to her knees, and then the outlet pass is right on the button. Reed's already picked up an assist earlier today on a goal from Allie Kennedy.
She has the capability to throw some big outlet passes. It's not the first time that we've seen her get an assist here in Athletes Unlimited. But it feels like a long time since we've seen her team in purple with the ball offensively.
As we enjoy season 3 of Athletes Unlimited lacrosse, the 4th championship season of Athletes Unlimited softball begins July 28th, runs through August 27th. 60 players convening in Rosemont, Illinois. We wish them and all of our Athletes Unlimited counterparts the very best. Ohlmiller looking over the top, 6-on-6 at this end of the field, 10 seconds to shoot. Evans on the bouncer, she scores.
Erica Evans, despite the fact that she's a rookie here in Athletes Unlimited, she has a lot of experience at elite levels, not just at Maryland, but internationally with Team Canada. Dominant left-handed player, no players sliding to that side. That's free reign for her. Using a quick step on her defensive player as she extends the lead to 3 for Team Reed.
Folks, everybody loves to rep Athletes Unlimited. You can too. Be sure to check out all the great gear, including the new AU Lacrosse for this season. Player name and number tees. Go to shop.auprosports.com and get yours today. Erica Evans knows her way around an ice hockey rink, too. The daughter of Lori and David, her uncles, Doug, Kevin, Paul, all played in the NHL. As we focus in on McCone and Mastriani on this next draw, 49 seconds left. Remember, this third quarter is worth 40 points. The score in this third quarter, if I'm not mistaken, is level at 3 apiece. We could have a double carryover if it remains the same. Good to see Cookie Carr back on the field, 83 in the purple after her injury scare in the opening half. McMahon bluffs the 2. A season ago, she had a 2-point goal in 4 straight games in Athletes Unlimited.
There's not a lot of time to mess around. They need to head to cage quickly if they're looking to get these 40 points from quarter 2 and 3 put together.
Shot clock is turned off. McMahon ripped off there by Dempsey Arsenal. Quickly gets it ahead, Ost-Holman. One more Mastriani further on the lead. North scores! with 2 seconds left and likely to win the bonus points now from the third quarter thanks to Charlotte North.
No question, that was some team lacrosse. Defense translating into offense. The defensive end of the field, Dempsey Arsenal stripping her attacking player of the ball, Alex Ost, Ali Mastriani. Alex Ost holding to Ali Mastriani, captain, finding Charlotte North. Everybody moving in unison, and look at that celebration. She knows what they have right now, and they have won quarter 2 and quarter 3 points. That's 40 points. Granted, we have 2.2 seconds, but I don't think anybody can score in that amount of time. And that was a huge momentum shift for Team Mastriani in blue, and Charlotte North capping it off with that last goal.
Beautiful example of how the transition game can work in your favor. And Team Mastriani trails by 2 after 3, but jumping for joy because they know they won the third quarter. The 40 points to everybody dressed in blue. Will go down the stretch with more Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN, sponsored by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Young lacrosse fans having a great time in the stands here at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland, just about 20 miles north of Baltimore. Temps in the mid-90s, blistering hot on the field. It's been a real good game between Team Reed and Team Mastriani. Speaking of outstanding lacrosse, next weekend's PLL games beginning Saturday on ESPN Plus at 6 and 8:30 Eastern. Really enjoyed the All-Star game an evening ago between the Rising Stars and Veterans. Sunday, we'll have the Water Dogs and the Archers at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. That'll be on ABC and ESPN Plus, followed by the Whip Snakes and Chaos, and that one only on ESPN Plus. All games originating from the Dallas Cowboys Ford Center in Frisco, Texas. Team Mastriani, Courtney, is on the move, and as they do so, they're getting more and more offense from Charlotte North.
Charlotte North, she has the ability to change the direction of a game, and this last goal, her energy, just as we were talking to her earlier, she knows the importance of winning the draw, and that's something we have seen as a huge change from Mastriani. But right here, beating her one-on-one matchups, that's what she talked about. They have to do as a team. She is setting forth in that, and then this fast break goal. Charlotte North, her teammates celebrating. They have the momentum shift going into this fourth quarter. It's going to be a tough act to follow. Team Reed needing to slow things down and stop the bleeding.
Charlotte North had 2 goals and 2 assists in a 1-goal loss to Team Apuzzo back on Thursday. 2 assists against Team Marino yesterday, a couple goals today. You see her point totals on the leaderboard as well. Just a reminder, this is the first of 2 this afternoon on ESPN2. A marquee matchup to come. Team Apuzzo and Team Marino. Taylor, the reigning champion from a season ago. Sam Apuzzo, who placed second to her by just a whisker last summer. Ohlmiller between defenders. Long drive score! McMahon for 2. Ring it up.
There's no stopping Izzy McMahon here in season 3 of Athletes Unlimited. This is her 4th goal of the day. Right from the draw, gaining possession, a nice little battle. Who comes up with it? Nobody other than Allie Kennedy. She's been a stalwart at the draw. Kylie Ohlmiller moving it quickly into the hands of Izzy McMahon. What I like about her, it's not just her shiftiness with her feet, but she releases that ball so quickly. It's like nobody's ready for it.
It's an enormous day for Izzy McMahon. Folks, for every assist during this season's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse campaign, Aspiration committed to planting 10 trees. Last season, lacrosse athletes adding up to 189 helpers. That means 1,890 trees planted for all their efforts. Izzy McMahon gets 2 points for her team, 16 points on her individual leaderboard for this downtown blast, as long as her foot was not on the line. The officials quickly threw at their review. Lynn Bowers is the table official. That is a 2-pointer for Izzy McMahon, her 4th on the day. And Court, we mentioned how quickly the goal totals can add up. You get 12 for a 1-point goal, 16 for a 2. So as long as Izzy is not turning the ball over, she's going to skyrocket on the leaderboard.
Anytime individually you just have more positive, that's absolutely going to skyrocket you. 16 points, another 12 straight goals. But on the flip side, your team winning quarters, and then obviously the overall win at the end of the game. That's what matters as well. MVP points, I think she has major potential here to move up from spot 22. She gets first place for MVP votes. That's 45 points, or 30 for the second position, 15 overall. So she's still going to be moving up, but we still have the 4th quarter to tally.
You see, we saw McMahon there just shy of 200 points overall for the weekend. Later on today, Taylor Moreno is likely to have her point totals eclipse the 500-point plateau. That doesn't happen very often in Athletes Unlimited. Ohlmiller feed it outside. Kennedy drives and scores! Allie Kennedy. Another player with a hat trick, Courtney, and the lead grows for Team Reed.
The connection between Kylie Ohlmiller and Allie Kennedy. Not surprised that it started in the hands of Izzy McMahon. All eyes are going to look to her. She moves it quickly. Kylie, Kennedy. Those two have such a big connection here in Athletes Unlimited. This is just the 2nd time that they've played together on the same team. Do it for Team USA as well as in their collegiate days at Stony Brook. When you have that built-in connection, you have to expect that good things are going to come from it.
Allie's first season in Athletes Unlimited, the inaugural campaign in 2021, that was her best from a goal-scoring standpoint. She bagged 22 tallies. McCone and Mastriani inside the draw circle. Still plenty of time left in regulation. Allie Mastriani's team in the blue trying to avoid being swept this week. Entering play today at 0-2, Team Reed was 1-1. 90 in the blue is Katie Ramsey. We saw her pot a couple of goals early on today. Mastriani works in against McCone. Geyer's back with Colson on her. North on her way to the net. McDowdy shuffling her feet, handling this one-on-one matchup. Charlotte fakes behind the back. 1,001 moves from North, who missed the target.
And she has some big fakes with her stick. I think she baits that defensive player, but Meg Dowdy, not known for taking a lot of stick checks. She's just going to play you with good body defense, sit low, and not fall for any of that big movement.
Mastriani with the shot clock violation, costing everybody in blue 2 points there. Back over for Team Reed in the purple. Britt's squad in control of this game by 5 points. Cookie Carr with a clearing effort to spot Andy Aldavi. Folks, play in the all-new Fantasy Pick'em League for free. Compete all season long for a chance to win a Unlimited Club Gold membership and signed goalie gloves. Sign up today at auprosports.com/fantasy. 2.5 minutes into the fourth. Number 2 in possession for Team Reed. She has been a going concern all day, though there's the trouble. McMahon put it down on the turf. If it's a turnover, that would be -10 to her totals. Courtney Taylor wheeling out of the pack. Arsenault will goose this to Resnick, and it is Team Mastriani ball. Trenchard gets away from Scotty Rose Growney. Emma Trenchard on the run.
There's just relentless pressure all over the field. Nothing is easy. Again, this is why you see a lot of back and forth. Those turnovers hurt you when you lose the ball, but on the flip side, cause turnovers, +14.
That was nearly a failure to advance. You get 20 seconds to clear the midline in Athletes Unlimited. Ooh, Geyer's back, ran right into the check of Colson, and Lizzie strides her way away. Former outstanding talent at the University of Maryland, former Big Ten Defender of the Year. Izzy McMahon veering away from pressure, and now Kylie Ohlmiller with her troops on the lead by 5 will slow the tempo down.
They can afford to. There's no rush. Let the ball do the work. They're winning by 5. Obviously, there's 60-second shot clock. It's halfway done.
These two teams finish for the weekend after the play today. That one rattles the post. One more game to come. Team Marino, Team Apuzzo, 2:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Once we are finished and all the MVP voting's been tabulated at the end of business today, we'll have 4 captains. We'll draft 4 new teams tomorrow and begin week 2 of Athletes Unlimited play on Thursday. Grace Griffin moseys her way ahead. Erica Evans is waiting defensively. Dempsey Arsenault, another of the outstanding players who played collegiately at Boston College, finds another former Eagle in Charlotte North. North on the dip and dunk, she scores!
Charlotte North recognizing, even though she had 2 players looking at her, she had a step to the right-hand side with her teammate Alex Ost-Holman behind. Meg Dowdy not quite sure who to take. There was that nice little pass-off. The pass-off created a step for her to the right-hand side. Again, miscue on D means benefit to the offense, and you can't have a player with IQ like Charlotte North. 2 players on you, but nobody quite taking you. Incredibly smart.
So shifty, that strong fake, dropping Britt Reed to her knees and giving North all the room she needed to place that ball into the top corner of the cage. 3 of the last 5 goals for Team Mastriani belong to number 88. The officials are asking for a review. Lynn Bowers is 5 in the black jersey. Officials today, Ronnie Anton, Erica Leslie, Patty Clutcher-Porter, and Liz Brush, as they check out Charlotte's work around the cage as to whether or not North may have been close to the goal circle, goal crease. A lot of tap dancing required. Charlotte can't be on that white line. The white circle, that is. As we share looks with you, we remind you the officiating crew has additional camera angles to check out, and they are doing just that on the tablet on the sidelines.
Joe, I'm curious, as we watch that last replay, a new rule, you can score a 2-point goal as long as you get rid of the ball from behind the goal line extended
and land outside the crease. Yeah. That could be the new rule.
They could be looking at this for a potential 2-point goal because she released the shot, didn't land until after that goal line extended. I don't see her in the crease. I see this as a potential 2-point goal.
We saw Kenzie Kent, another terrific player in Athletes Unlimited, score a goal like that last year, and it prompted the player executive committee to think about it and say, you know what, let's put in the possibility of a 2-point goal from below goal line extended. And when we see Charlotte North, we revisit it around the circle. It may not be that they're checking for the crease violation. It didn't appear that Charlotte was on the line, but if she took off from behind goal line extended and scored and landed outside of the crease, This is a 2-point goal. It would be 16 for Charlotte if the officials view it that way.
And then we would be back at tied 2-2 here in this fourth quarter.
Correct. The overall score at the moment standing at 13-9. The 2 points would make it 13-10. Voila, you see the scoreboard change at the bottom of the screen. And Charlotte, who had 8 twos last year of the much more conventional variety, gets the first 2 from below the goal line. A new rule put in to Athletes Unlimited this season.
Amazing to watch. Now it just makes it all the more exciting when you saw her bobbing and weave from behind. She had the wherewithal to realize, all right, I can jump, land outside. There's a lot of thinking that goes involved in that. But if anybody was able to do it, Charlotte North, the first one. Again, she gets incredible reach with her stick. She gets it far out in front of her body.
One giant leap pays dividends there. It's 13-10, and as Courtney mentioned, it's 2-2 in the fourth quarter alone. The chase for the 20 quarter points. The winning side, each player, all 14 players on the roster, would get 45 points for the win. A little bit less than 5 minutes left in regulation. There is sudden victory in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse if we're tied after 40 minutes. Aldave on the roll dodge away from Griffin. McMahon from the angle, shut down. Waters is back in cage for Team Mastriani, 43 in the blue. Lindsay McCone realizes she's got a fresh 60-second shot clock, so might as well drip more time off the overall clock as well.
You know, every position has one extra sub from the goalkeeper, defender, midi attacker, but the middies are the ones doing the most running back and forth, impacting both ends of the field. They're the ones who need the biggest breaks.
McMahon turns the corner, waiting to let it fly. Spin it back behind for Scotty Rose Groundy off of a hat trick yesterday. Griffin is there with her. Plenty of fakes from Scotty Rose. Shot clock's at 20. They want McMahon to have it. She's the energizer here in the fourth. Drawing 2 defenders, slips that pass through, and that was a highly populated defensive area for Mastriani off the steal.
That's the second turnover that we've seen from Izzy as of late. She scored so many goals, but turnovers can be costly in terms of leaderboard points. So we saw her cruising up, and then that makes you go right back down.
Every turnover is a -10 for the individual assessed with the turnover. Dempsey Arsenal has the rock with 3:20 left. Working in on the ISO. Here comes the double. North is there as a safety valve. Charlotte outside the 2-point arc. Playing off of Dempsey Arsenal. Fidgets inside. Nice look. Griffin had no shooting angle. Naslonsky, ditto. Cookie Carr right there to make the takeaway. With 10 seconds on the shot clock, there's a whistle, the hold, and it will be possession for Team Reed in purple. We need to step away. We have time for a TV timeout. We'll get you back. Down the stretch we go in a 3-point game. Team Reed in the purple on the lead with precious time remaining on ESPN2. Couple of pretty popular pooches there on the sidelines here at USA Lacrosse HQ, at least one of which is owned by Team Mastriani netminder Kaylee Waters. It's a 13-10 game for Team Reed. 3-2 in the fourth quarter, 20 points on the line for the squad that wins this frame. Sunday Night Baseball's coming up. Series finale, the Mets and the Red Sox at Fenway Park. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage begins 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. With baseball tonight, that's Sunday Night Countdown. Michael K. and A-Rod having their K-Rod presentation on ESPN2. As we move down the stretch with lacrosse fans here in Sparks, Maryland, we can go into the game with Izzy McMahon.
I saw the nod.
That was kind of nice.
I saw the nod.
That was kind of nice. Bang! Let's go! Okay. 2. Now we'll take that 2. That's a 2. I needed that one. Now, I'm not mad anymore because I almost broke my stick.
Izzy McMahon and her mates have been in a pretty good mood for most of the day. For right now, they've got a 3-point lead to protect with a little less than 3 minutes to go in regulation. And never let it be said that Courtney Martinez-Connor is not fully prepared and has done her homework. You have background on a dog?
But of course,
Really?
I'm a dog person. Come on. But actually, I do talk with many of the players about their dogs that they keep here in-house. Kaylee Waters, I did not ask her about her dog. She was pretty offended, and I get why. What a cute dog, wearing the white shirt right there. Barkley, a mini Australian Shepherd, 30 pounds. She said he loves going outside, loves to lead her to the toy box, but she also brings her dog to every single lacrosse lesson that she has. He does love to play with other dogs, as you can tell. And Kaylee Waters, she said, he's only 10 months old, but a ton of personality.
Courtney, come on. There's a whole lot of panting going on. I could see Barkley saying, hey, Mom, I'm already wearing a fur coat on a 95-degree day. You got to throw me in a T-shirt, too?
But they look cute. And look at that leash. Love it.
Back to play with 2:45 to go. Team Reed in the purple. Strong ride here. Trying to force the turnover. Marae Durkin in a battle with Kayla Wood, and Wood outlasts the rookie down the sideline. Back in her rookie season of Athletes Unlimited, Kayla Wood was often a captain. She said that she never really wanted that kind of a spotlight, but she warmed to it and learned to make the best and use the most of all of the opinions that were shared by so many leaders and captains on her squad, if you will.
She was definitely a lead by example type captain, fierce on the field, relentless, never give up mentality. But as a rookie, a young player who just graduated college, she was pretty vocal out there as well.
Ohlmiller on the go. Ohlmiller gets inside, then gets stick checked. Katrina Geiger was jumping up, did not appreciate the call from the officials. It's a 3-point game with less than 2 minutes to go as the officials get things sorted out. Katrina Geiger, number 8 in blue, hands on head. The call is going to go against Marae Durkin. She has a seat, so this is player up for Team Reed. And Courtney, this is the double whammy with them on the lead and in possession of the ball.
And Team Reed, throughout the entire 3 games, has done an excellent job of seeing the open player in their player-up situation. So obviously Kylie electing not to take that shot. They want to move the ball, find the open player.
Just manage the clock wisely now. Only 100 seconds left in this game. 44 in the shot clock interior. There's Scotty Rose Growney with a put away.
Scotty Rose Growney capitalizing from her teammates, passing the ball around the perimeter. Again, they are shifting, making that zone defense behind them have to work. Scotty Rose knowing when and where to cut, the right time as soon as all eyes look to the ball. And that's when she saw that open lane to cut, capitalizing off the feed from Erica Evans.
This is the highest scoring game combined by the two teams in the Young Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season. 14-10 for Team Reed, Folks, you can experience all the excitement of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse right here in person in Sparks. Season tickets, 3-game mini plans, group sales and more. Now available. AUProsports.com tickets to get yours today. Ali Mastriani just about has to have this draw if her team has a chance of getting up off of the mat. And Dempsey Arsenal reels it in, an offensive chance. Charlotte North outside the 2-point arc. Already with a 2 today. The first in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse history from below the goal line. Charlotte working in, gets a step on Carr, fires, and Reed makes the save. Britt Reed with another 5 points for that stop. Britt Reed, usually into near double figures with saves, has 7 this afternoon. Final 60 seconds and counting. Team Reed on its way to victory. Whistle and stoppage in play.
There's 7 players down on that defensive end of the field for Team Mastriani. So
Naughty.
Gonna be an offsides call. This is unfortunate because they need to try and get the ball back. It's gonna be very hard to do as they're a player down. And again, Team Reed, they have been lethal with their player up opportunities, finding the open cuts. Again, in Athletes Unlimited, the fact that you have a new team each and every weekend, you just need a few things. What kind of defense are you going to be playing? One good offensive player up set, and then some motion style offenses. And Team Reed has certainly found that these last 2 games.
Part of being a champion in Athletes Unlimited, Courtney, the ability to assemble a team, lead those unique teams. Just a reminder today, with a 14-10 advantage, we'll be carrying you right on through from game 1 to game 2. Stay right there with us on ESPN2. Continuing coverage throughout. We'll set the table for Team Apuzzo and Team Marino to come. Final 40 seconds, shot clock is turned off. The team in purple, Team Reed, no need to go to the goal, protecting the 4-point advantage. This one should be in the books. Oldmiller, as they play keep away, spreading the field. Izzy McMahon, hawked there by Mairead Durkin. Scotty Rose Growney, the last player on the board, her first goal on the day to secure this victory for Team Reed. They'll improve to 2-1. Team Mastriani gets swept this weekend, falling in 3 straight. This one by the final count of 14-10.
Tremendous comeback effort for Team Mastriani. The 3rd, late into the 4th. However, Team Reed coming out on top. They had an overall complete game on both ends of the field. Very impressive, finishing strong, but we see some bright spots, especially Charlotte North. With that very first 2-point goal behind goal line extended, I want to see some more players coming up with that.
Definitely, and I'm sure they will before too long, before the 4 weeks are done in Athletes Unlimited. Team Mastriani's squad bested by 4, and it was a big day for Team Reed's Izzy McMahon.
Izzy McMahon, she's such a bright spot on the field. Hard worker, intense, focused, but take a big picture now, because this is the last time that you are going to see Team Reed, these same 14 players put together, as a draft will be happening tomorrow, and then we repeat. Izzy McMahon, a look at her day. Again, a player who has the ability to beat her one-on-one isolation dodges, but her sweeping, whether it's to the left or the right side, the quick release, well-placed shots. Izzy McMahon had herself a day with 4 goals, 1 assist. That's 6 points, one of them being a 2-point goal. Incredibly strong dodger and shooter.
Izzy McMahon and her mates will get involved in the MVP voting. Their work is done in this week number 1 with a hug from Meg Dowdy. Ali Mastriani's team falls by the final of 14-10. Folks, stay with us all throughout. We'll turn our booth into the studio. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse carries right along. For Courtney, for Maria, for all the men and women in our crew, thanks for your time. Stay right there. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse continues.